Have you ever looked at your dog's tangled coat and thought that a bath would make everything better? It seems like the kind and logical thing to do. Water cleans, shampoo refreshes, a bath feels like the first step toward comfort and healing. Yet hidden beneath that simple assumption is a truth that surprises many loving pet owners and sometimes leads to even greater discomfort for the animals they care about most. The reality is that when a dog's coat becomes severely matted, bathing before proper brushing, and preparation can transform a manageable problem into a much more difficult one. This lesson is not just about grooming. It is about understanding the difference between what appears helpful and what is genuinely beneficial. Every pet owner wants to act with love, but love becomes most powerful when it is guided by knowledge. That is why the insights shared by Dr. Karen Becker have become so valuable to people seeking a deeper understanding of animal wellness. She emphasizes that healthy care begins with understanding how a dog's body and coat function, rather than relying on assumptions. Matted fur is not simply messy hair. It is a network of tightly woven fibers that can trap dirt, moisture, debris, and even bacteria close to the skin. These mats can pull continuously on sensitive areas, creating discomfort every time a dog moves, stretches, or lies down. To an observer, the coat may appear like a cosmetic issue, but to the dog, it can feel like carrying a tight layer of pressure that never fully relaxes. When water is added to these mats before they are properly loosened, something unexpected happens. The tangled fibers can tighten and compress even further, much like certain fabrics shrink and become denser when exposed to moisture. As the coat dries, the mats often become harder, tighter, and more difficult to remove without causing pain. What seemed like a gentle solution can unintentionally increase the challenge. This is why professional groomers and veterinary experts often stress the importance of preparation before bathing. The sequence matters. The order of care matters. The smallest details can create the biggest difference in a dog's comfort. Yet many owners have never been taught this principle, and they proceed with the best intentions, unaware that the process may be working against the outcome they hope to achieve. Understanding this truth changes everything, because it shifts the focus away from quick fixes and toward thoughtful care. It encourages patience over urgency and knowledge over assumption. Most importantly, it reminds us that every action we take for our pets carries consequences, whether visible or hidden, and the path to genuine well-being often begins with learning what our animals cannot tell us themselves. At this point, many people begin to wonder what the correct approach should be, and this is where the story becomes even more important. Beneath every matted coat is a living animal depending on human decisions for comfort, safety, and relief. The proper sequence begins not with water, but with careful assessment. Every mat tells a story about how the coat has changed over time. Some mats remain relatively loose and can be separated with patient brushing, while others become so dense that they form thick layers against the skin. The temptation is often to rush toward a solution, especially when a dog appears dirty or uncomfortable, but rushing can create consequences that are not immediately visible. As Dr. Karen Becker often teaches, true wellness is built upon understanding the underlying cause of the dispersion problem, rather than focusing only on its appearance. This philosophy applies perfectly to grooming. Before any bath is considered, the coat should be evaluated and gently worked through using appropriate tools and techniques designed to reduce tension on the skin. The goal is not merely to remove tangles. The goal is to preserve comfort while protecting the integrity of the coat and the emotional trust between the dog and the person providing care. Yet there is a hidden danger that many owners never anticipate. A severely matted coat can conceal far more than tangled fur. Underneath those dense knots may be irritated skin, trapped moisture, hot spots, parasites, small wounds, or areas of inflammation that have gone unnoticed for weeks or even months. From the outside, everything may appear manageable. From the inside, a very different reality may exist. This is why experienced groomers proceed with caution and patience. They understand that every movement matters. Every brush stroke matters. Every decision affects the dog's physical experience. The suspense lies in what cannot be seen until the mats begin to loosen. Sometimes the discovery reveals only healthy skin and a coat in need of maintenance. Other times it uncovers conditions that require immediate attention. This uncertainty is one of the reasons preparation is so essential. It is not simply a grooming procedure. It is an investigation into the animal's well-being. As the coat gradually becomes manageable, stress decreases, movement becomes easier, and the dog often begins to display subtle signs of relief. Many owners describe seeing a visible change in posture, energy, and expression after proper grooming preparation. The transformation extends beyond appearance. It affects comfort, confidence, and quality of life. What started as a tangled coat becomes a lesson in observation, patience, and responsibility. The deeper message is that meaningful care often requires slowing down enough to understand what is truly happening beneath the surface. When knowledge guides action, grooming becomes more than a routine task. It becomes an act of compassion supported by wisdom, and that combination can make all the difference in a dog's life. The final lesson is both practical and deeply meaningful, because it reminds us that every act of care reflects the relationship we build with our animals. Once the coat has been properly assessed and the mats have been carefully loosened or removed, using safe grooming methods, the bath can finally serve its intended purpose. At that stage, water becomes a source of cleansing rather than a force that worsens existing problems. Shampoo can reach the coat more effectively, they removed more thoroughly, and the skin can be inspected and supported with greater confidence. The process that once seemed simple now reveals itself as a sequence built upon understanding and respect. This is the science behind proper grooming preparation, and it is the reason so many professionals emphasize the order of each step. What appears to be a small detail can dramatically influence the outcome. A dog that experiences gentle preparation before bathing is far more likely to avoid unnecessary discomfort, excessive coat damage, and emotional stress. More importantly, the experience helps strengthen trust. Animals may not understand every action performed on them, but they respond to comfort, patience, and consistency. They remember how an experience feels. They learn whether handling brings relief or anxiety. In this way, grooming becomes more than maintenance. It becomes communication. It becomes a demonstration of responsibility expressed through action. Dr. Karen Becker frequently encourages pet owners to view health through a broader lens, recognizing that small daily decisions often have a lasting impact on overall well-being. Grooming perfectly illustrates this principle. A few extra minutes spent preparing the coat before bathing can prevent significant discomfort later. A willingness to learn can prevent mistakes that once seemed harmless. A commitment to understanding can transform routine care into a powerful expression of compassion. Perhaps the greatest takeaway is that knowledge allows us to become better guardians for the animals who depend on us. Dogs offer loyalty without conditions. They trust without hesitation. They share their lives with remarkable openness. In return, they rely on people to make informed choices on their behalf. When owners understand why brushing and coat preparation must come before bathing a matted dog, they are not simply following a grooming rule. They are applying a principle that extends far beyond the grooming table. They are choosing patience over haste, awareness over assumption, and thoughtful care over convenience. Those choices create better outcomes not only for the coat, but also for the dog's comfort, confidence, and quality of life. The truth about bathing a matted dog is ultimately a lesson about seeing beyond the surface. It is a reminder that the most effective solutions are often guided by understanding rather than instinct alone. When we take the time to learn, observe, and act with purpose, we create experiences that support both physical health and emotional well-being. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.